Hi everyone, my name is Amber. Welcome back to my channel. This is my review of The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharpe. I'll put the actual cover here so you can see it. I obviously received this one as an advanced reader's copy from the publisher. That hasn't influenced my review at all. I'm actually a massive fan of Tess Sharpe already, which I'll get into in a bit. I wasn't paid for this. Disclaimer, I received the book and that is it. So I'm going to give you a quick summary of what the book is about. Not too much because it is a YA thriller. I don't like to give too much away about thrillers because I personally like going into them knowing nothing at all. So if you're the same way, don't worry, I'm not going to say too much. And then I will get into my thoughts and feelings about the book. So this is about a girl called Nora who's a teenager. She is the daughter of a con artist and she wants to get away from that life. She no longer speaks to her mother and she wants to kind of distance herself, so she is laying low. This all goes a bit wrong when Nora, her ex-boyfriend, now best friend Wes, and her now girlfriend Iris are all at a bank when it is robbed. So some bank robbers come in and the three of them kind of get involved in some way. So then Nora has to start talking about her past. She has to use her past skills to kind of get out of this horrible situation. It's also told in a non-linear format, which I'll talk about a bit more in a bit. So we see Nora in present day and also in the past and all the girls that she has been. Before I get into this review, I do want to mention that there are a lot of trigger warnings, content warnings to do with this book. They're all on the author's website if you want to go and check it out. It's a very dark book, especially for YA, and Tess Sharpe doesn't write light contemporary, so go into all of her books expecting this kind of level of gruesome. So I wanted to talk about the plot, which I said is told in a non-linear format. So we start off knowing very little about Nora. We meet her as the bank is being robbed and we learn that she has a mysterious past that her friends, or one of her friends, doesn't necessarily know about. Her girlfriend has no idea and her ex-boyfriend found out, and that's kind of why they broke up. So we see Nora in the present, kind of how she is now, and then we keep going back into the past to see the girls that Nora had to pretend to be to survive and how those girls shaped her into what she is now. This definitely isn't a mystery psychological thriller, it's more of an action-packed thriller, and it's also very, very dark. So it's a very fast-paced book. I had no problems reading it. I think I finished it in just about one sitting. It's a very short book as well. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was fast-paced. It kept me intrigued the entire time, not knowing much about Nora in present day and then slowly finding out more and more about her in the past flashbacks. I think that was a really good plot device, writing device, I don't really know the technical terms, because we kind of got snippets of Nora's past and what she had to go through. I really, really enjoyed the found family that was in this. Wes and Iris, the ex-boyfriend friend, and the girlfriend of Nora. The dynamic of the three of them was absolutely lovely and I loved seeing more of them in flashbacks as well. Nora told a bit about how she met the two of them and how their relationship has changed and grown over the years, and I really enjoyed that actually. I really, really liked reading about their relationship. I think this book may have been left open for a potential sequel because it is being turned into a Netflix film, I think, not a series, might be a series, starring Millie Bobby Brown, and I'm thinking maybe the author might want to turn it into a series at some point, and I do think that it's left open for that, although the plot itself does get a lot of closure. So Nora gets some character growth, the main plot of the bank robbery is closed off. I think you could read it either way. If you want a standalone, that's fine. If you want to read more, if Tess Sharpe does come out with more books, I think she's left the door open for that, and I think that's a really good decision by her. Like I said, I have read Tess Sharpe's books before and this gives off a very similar vibe, especially to Far From You, which is her YA thriller debut, which came out quite a few years ago now, I think in perhaps 2014. That also featured a bisexual main character. I don't think I've mentioned this explicitly, but Nora is bisexual. She has a current girlfriend and an ex-boyfriend, but she's still into both genders. Like I keep saying, this was a very dark story. I think that's kind of what Tess Sharpe is known for now, and I hope that she keeps bringing out more and more dark thrillers or dark contemporaries because I love getting emotional over her books. Like I said, I love the relationships between Nora and Wes and Nora and Iris and Wes as well. They're kind of like a trio. They're absolutely lovely. I loved that Nora was best friends with her ex-boyfriend. I thought that was a really nice touch, and I love that she stayed in contact with him. I love that her ex-boyfriend was friends with her current girlfriend as well. They're all just friendly and lovely, even if they don't all know a lot about each other at this point. Their relationship still managed to grow throughout this book, and they both obviously have a lot more to find out about Nora because she's the one with the really mysterious past, but the other two have stuff going on as well. And this is where I want to mention explicitly the trigger warning for domestic abuse and abusive parents. There is a lot of parental abuse in this book and it was difficult for me to read, but I think Tess Sharpe tackled it really, really well. I did find one thing a little bit unbelievable in the way that it was handled after the events. I don't want to say too much, but that was a little bit unbelievable to me. It just seemed a bit absurd, but I think the rest of it was handled really, really well and really delicately, I think, in some places, even though it is such a dark and in-your-face book. I really liked Nora as a main character as well. I don't think I've mentioned this. Like most of Tess Sharpe's protagonists, if not all of them, she is very hardened and it's difficult to get to know her, but because we do have those flashbacks, we start to learn exactly why she is the way that she is, and the reader is able to start to come to an understanding along with Nora's friends. I thought it was really great getting to know her in bits and pieces. It was a really good writing technique, and also being able to see the end result initially was a really good choice by Tess Sharpe. Like I said, Nora's relationships were lovely to read about, at least the positive ones were. I particularly liked the relationship with her sister Lee, who is a character I would actually love to read about. Maybe Lee could get her own story. She's an adult, she's grown up, so maybe we could follow Lee doing her private eye sort of thing. I think that would be really cool. So like I said, this book ended really well. I do think it all wrapped up really nicely, but I do think that maybe there's some room for sequels if the movie, TV show, whatever it's going to be does well, or if the book itself does well as well. I think it would be a really good one to expand upon. That's my review of The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharpe. I'm really looking forward to seeing the film, the adaptation. I'm just going to call it now because I actually don't know what it is. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the adaptation now and seeing how Millie Bobby Brown brings Nora to life and how she acts in these kind of situations as well, because I'm used to seeing her as 11 in Stranger Things, and I also saw her in Enola Holmes, and I think both roles are actually quite different to Nora, so I'm looking forward to seeing how she portrays this character. I don't know how much involvement Tess Sharpe has with the adaptation, but I hope she's somewhat involved so that the writers get Nora just right, because I think she's going to be quite a difficult character to tackle. So thank you guys so much for watching my review. I'll be back soon. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this one. I do a lot of reviews on mystery thrillers, psychological thrillers, quite a few fantasy books as well. Thank you again for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.